Hello, everybody. My name is Tijmen Vos. I'm the VP product for Eagle Eye Networks. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Eagle Eye Networks, the company, but also deep dive a little bit more into how AI is transforming cloud video and security solutions into the future. Before we go there, let me introduce you Eagle Eye Networks a little bit more. The company is founded in 2012 by Dean Draco and headquartered in Austin, Texas. I personally was co-founder of Eagle Eye Camera Manager, one of our core products right now. So my background has always been in cloud-based video surveillance. The company is backed by the CEO founder, Dean Draco, and a couple of others. And earlier this year, we announced a 100 million funding round by Secom. So we're a backed company, well-funded, and we're investing lots of that money into AI and expanding our cloud globally. Eagle Eye has offices in Amsterdam, Bangalore, and Tokyo, so we're a true global company. Our customers, they are across the board, ranging from McDonald's to Vodafone, real estate to healthcare to retail, for example. So all kinds of customers. The common denominator there is that we focus on companies with lots of locations, lots of stores or lots of offices, and preferably with a large footprint, of course, to have cameras connected to our cloud. Eagle Eye is active in 90 countries right now and serving our cloud with over 11 data centers globally. So here you see a little bit of our footprint of the data centers that we operate in. And I'll come back to our cloud and the data centers that we run in a little bit later. We have over a couple of hundred employees. Currently, we're approaching around 500 employees year to date. And the organization is operating globally as well in terms of support and operations. So we have 24/7, 365 support operations to support all our resellers and customers globally. A little bit more deeper into our product. Our Eagle Eye Cloud VMS is our flagship product. It's a true cloud video surveillance system operated fully cloud-based. So no software to be installed, no software to be maintained on site, etc. You can use it for any application. So we have customers using it for video surveillance in the traditional sense of the word. So surveilling remotely, for example, cities or stores or offices. And some use it more to get alarmed in the right moment and to send video to a professional video monitoring center. So it's comparable to a regular VMS, a regular video management system, but then fully cloud operated. We do have a little bit of a cloud appliance. We call it the Eagle Eye Bridge. That's a device that operates on cloud and buffers all the video of all the supported cameras to the Eagle Eye Cloud. I'll come back to our supported cameras a little bit later during the presentation. The system comes with built-in AI, native AI, as we call it. We do basic video analytics such as tripwire, region of interest, people counting, but we move more and more towards true AI, focused on detecting and recognizing objects such as a car or a license plate, or checking if it's a person within the video. We've launched a whole set of products and services around AI, and I'll come back to that a little bit later. The Eagle Eye Cloud VMS is focusing on multi-site, as mentioned already. So it's an ideal tool for managing like thousands of stores with a couple of cameras all into a single interface. As it's cloud-based, it's not needed to remotely dial into every location on its own. It's a true multi-site system, so all the locations are connected through a single cloud and accessible through one login on EEN.com. We have maximum camera flexibility. That means that we support basically any on-viv camera out there. So it doesn't really matter which camera you have. You can always connect it to our cloud using the bridge as a point to access the camera on the local network. And by supporting on-viv as the standard protocol, we can support up to 10,000 different makes, models of cameras. So think about Axis, on-viv, Axis, Hanwha, Bosch, Mobotics, etc. So all the big brands are supported, and even the tiny local regional brands are supported too. It's very easy to add cameras. So if you have any camera of a brand that I didn't mention, then it doesn't matter. We can easily add support for one of your cameras. On top of that, we have bridges that support analog cameras. So that means that also analog cameras can be connected directly up to the cloud. The open platform, I'll come back to do on a later sheet. So I think everybody must have heard about cloud. Cloud is kind of the new thing of the last 5 years that is starting to dominate the video surveillance industry. And there's lots of misperceptions on what cloud actually is. Sometimes people install a DVR or an NVR into the data center and call it cloud. Sometimes companies offer cameras with onboard storage and just management in the cloud. That is not true cloud. So what we have defined, or actually what NIST has defined as true cloud, is a system that really operates completely in the cloud. So all the intelligence, all the software, everything is running in the cloud. And especially all the video is going to the cloud as well. Eagle Eye is really pulling all the video to the cloud, whether we buffered it on the edge, yes or no. Everything is going to the cloud all the time, and that makes it a true cloud system. So we want to use this term, and throughout the presentation, you'll hear me say and refer to true cloud all the time. A couple of things that we believe are the challenges that Eagle Eye solves if it comes to surveillance. And I'll pick a few. For example, the scalability is an important item for us. As I mentioned before, we focus on multi-site customers, so customers with hundreds or thousands of locations with multiple cameras on each site. If you think about the more traditional operations or the traditional products for video surveillance, it's very hard to scale. Every customer location needs to have a specific device installed. It comes with management and overhead, whether it's IT or management of the physical device. And moving that to the cloud basically turns it into an infinitely flexible and scalable system. In Eagle Eye, you can just click the button, you add your cameras, and you're up and running without even contacting us or your security-related reseller. So that's one of the main challenges that we solve. Other things are cybersecurity. For those of you who are familiar with installing cameras as an individual camera or maybe connected to an NVR or a locally operated piece of software, know that maintaining cybersecurity is a complex task. Sometimes it leads to installing updates to camera firmware individually, camera by camera. And that's kind of a cumbersome operation. So Eagle Eye has solved that problem. Our bridge is operated with a firewall, so all the cameras that are on the customer network are automatically fully cyber secure due to the firewall being inside of our Eagle Eye bridge. AI, also cloud-based. The advantage of that is that no matter which camera you have, the AI always works. And that's a huge advantage, to be honest, because what happens a lot is that if customers install AI-driven cameras or AI-enabled cameras today, you can bet that in a matter of 2-3 years, the AI will be outdated, and it's very difficult to keep that up to date. And Eagle Eye is kind of the cloud platform that operates the whole AI across all your cameras, across your business in a consistent way. So these are typical challenges that we solve and try to address with our cloud and AI-based cloud VMS. A few differentiators there. We're self-hosted cloud, so that means that we don't operate on Amazon or Google or Microsoft Azure. We literally rack and stack our own cloud. We believe by doing this that we create a purpose-built cloud, the second differentiator there, and be really focused on video surveillance. And by doing that, we can offer our customers a cost differentiator there and a performance differentiator. Another important aspect for Eagle Eye is being an open platform. So we operate on a RESTful API. Our whole platform is built with an open API. So no matter what kind of software you want to connect your video surveillance to, the API can be leveraged to achieve that. Also open is meaning that we support any camera out there. So whether you have an Axis camera, Bosch camera, etc., it doesn't really matter. Any camera can be connected to your system, and we're not locking the camera down. So one of the recent articles I've read on video surveillance is called Hostage as a Service. And that kind of refers to the providers of cameras that tie their camera up to a specific cloud only. And without the cloud, the camera couldn't run. That's not the business that Eagle Eye does. So we support any camera out there. And by doing that, it also means that if you want to stop our servers, you take your camera and go elsewhere, and the camera keeps being accessible. So no hostage as a service for Eagle Eye. Native AI, very important. As mentioned earlier, we've raised $100 million earlier this year, and a large part of that money is invested in AI. Why is that? Because we believe that the next generation of video surveillance is going to be heavily AI driven, and I'll make a turn to the rest of my presentation in the coming slides. Cybersecurity speaks for itself. Nobody wants a camera that is not cyber secure, so this is quite deeply rooted in the DNA of Eagle Eye. And a global partner ecosystem is important to make sure that the true value of your VMS, your video management system, can be leveraged into other applications. Think of a point of sale system, think of other systems or other pieces of software that operate in your business. It is now possible, because it's cloud-based and API-driven, to easily expand that into other tech partner software. Quickly, this is our data center footprint connected to, in the left corner, you'll see our network. It's a true global network. It's one of the highest speed networks globally. So that means that we can literally transfer video across the world in high speed, no latency, and really focused on quality. Open platform, mentioned that already. We're open not only in terms of cameras. Going to the next slide here, you can see a bunch of our supported camera models and makes that we support, but we're also open in terms of API and connectivity to third-party systems. Now, going to the key of this presentation. So as Eagle Eye, we believe there's two main use cases for video surveillance. There's way more. You can easily think of 100 use cases, but we believe that more than 90% of the business, of the revenue in the market, is about two key use cases. So one is forensics, and the other one is real-time monitoring. So if we look into the forensics, and you think about the old world forensics, it's basically forensics based on scrubbing. So what does it mean? It basically means you go into your video management system, you select a camera, and you go scrub and scrub and scrub. It could take an hour, it could take a day, it could take a week before you find exactly what you're looking for. To be honest, a very cumbersome process. It takes a lot of time, it costs a lot of money. And I think everybody recognizes the cases where something bad happens, for example, in your city, and you need to find that one person using thousands of cameras. It's going to be a very cumbersome process. So this is the old world. Looking into the new world, I want to start with a little bit of an analogy, and that is the traditional web analogy. So if you all remember, assuming you're kind of my age, the Yahoo directory, it was a little bit same as traditional video management systems. So you had a directory with categories, subcategories, 10 more subcategories, and it basically took you 10, 12, 15 clicks before you got to the actual website that you wanted to visit. There was not really an easy search available. Yes, there is a search button or a search bar. You could type something there, but you were finding just the category and not the exact website that you were looking for. Moving on a couple of years later, there was Alta Vista and eventually Google that we're all using right now. And maybe even I should update my presentation to include ChatGPT. But the key here is that web search has moved from searching and browsing through categories and finding a website, which could take like several minutes, to just typing what you're looking for and Google doing the job. In the beginning, this was a little bit cumbersome too, right? It didn't find exactly what you were looking for, but it gave you a broad search of options that you were potentially looking for. If you do it today, Google finds instantly what you were looking for, and ChatGPT probably gives you a little extra dimension there. We believe that looking into video surveillance, the exact same thing is going to happen. in video surveillance. The forensics world is going to completely change from traditional video management by selecting your camera, searching on a date, searching on a time, and finding, browsing and scrubbing through all that video. It's going to be fully focused to AI-based search. I have an example of a product that we launched earlier this year, later on in the presentation, so I'll come back to that. But the key here is that user interface for video surveillance will move completely to search. So that's our statement there if it comes to forensics. If you think about real-time monitoring, our second focus area, also there an analogy with the old world. So real-time monitoring is basically been done for decades long. A person sitting behind a screen, watching cameras and trying to make sense of all the video that he's looking at. And if he doesn't fall asleep, take action at the moment something happens. Now, this has been enriched, of course, in during the years by, for example, the alarm system being the trigger. If there's an alarm system, it pops up the right camera of that location on the screen of the operator. So it's not as dumb anymore as it used to be. But we believe that a person sitting behind 6 screens, like on the picture here, is the old world. Moving into the new world, we believe that actually the AI is doing all that work. So there's no person anymore watching video. There is still a person needed to take action, for example, to escalate to police force or escalate to the firefighters in case there is a fire, or maybe call the owner of the building. So the person is still needed, but all the video watching is being done by AI all the time. And the good thing about that is that AIs can watch any amount of cameras, so it's not limited anymore to one person and maybe being able to watch a couple of hundred cameras. So that's going to be a big dynamic change there, and we believe that this is going to be the future. So cloud and AI can be considered like milk and cookies. So if you think about it, why is cloud actually better at AI? Number one is AI is changing fast. I think we're all using AI today, whether it's ChatGPT or the nice upgrades in Google Gmail. AI is kind of working its way into all the daily software that we use on a daily basis. And you notice that it improves on a daily basis, almost like hourly. What does that mean for your video surveillance system? Well, it basically means that if you deploy an AI camera today, it might not be finding all the relevant things anymore tomorrow. So AI is changing fast, and doing that on the cloud makes a lot of sense because we can train and change the AI models quite overnight. So that's the benefit of the cloud. Hardware at the edge changing yearly. Like I mentioned already, cameras change, firmware change, AI algorithms change, so the hardware needs to change as well. Doing that every year on the customer side doesn't make real sense. So doing this at the cloud is kind of an advantage. Upgrades as well. The compute part is maybe important to highlight. If you think about it, the better the AI model is and the better results you expect, the more compute power needed. So if you're limited to the compute power on site, on the customer side, doing serious AI on those cameras is going to be very limited. So moving that to the cloud makes a lot of sense too. Economies of scale, I think that's logical. Running AI across tens of thousands of cameras. Imagine you have a city surveillance project and you want to run one AI model, whether it's for license plate recognition or maybe it is for counting the amount of red cars that you see in the street, just to name a weird example. It's really difficult to do that with local AI. You want to run that on the cloud to be able to run it on all the video streams simultaneously. And the other one is new objects need new AI algorithms. They need to be trained better and differently. And deploying that on the cloud is going to be easier and lead to more efficiency. A good example, not specifically related to Eagle Eye, is, for example, Amazon Alexa. It's a little bit a similar architecture as Eagle Eye has, of course. It's a piece of hardware that operates on site, on the customer side. It's transferring the audio to the cloud where it's being analyzed with speech recognition. There's lots of machine learning running in the cloud to understand what people say, and it can transfer that back to speech to tell you something, give you the answer from Wikipedia, etc. So this is a typical setup that is kind of showing the benefit of the cloud, because over time, speech recognition and the algorithms will change, but the hardware preferably stays the same over a period of a couple of years. So this is kind of a similar architecture as Eagle Eye is using for cloud VMS. So is there a future for the edge? Many of you will probably invest a lot in edge cameras. So you buy an expensive camera, it's running the latest AI models, it's running the latest edge storage options. So based on my story, you can question, is there still a future for that? I believe yes. So Eagle Eye is not only investing in completely cloud-based systems, we're also looking at what happens on the edge. If you look at the cameras, many of the cameras have great AI embedded on the camera, so we will use that. Many of the cameras also have great edge storage options, for example. And I want to highlight here a couple of things that we believe the edge or the edge camera is useful for, and the way we deploy that. On the left side, you see storage. We have a couple of solutions where backup storage is critical. For example, if you connect a camera directly up to the cloud without a bridge on site, you might want to have backup storage in the camera, because if internet is not available or bandwidth is low or you have an internet outage, you want to keep buffering on that local camera. We partner up with Micron in this case for taking care of all the local storage capacity needs. So if a camera supports edge storage and SD cards, we partner up with Micron and make sure that we can serve this use case. On the other side, AI and video analytics can be very useful to run on the camera for specific cases. Think about if you have a camera with an onboard AI model that is not supported by the cloud. It could be very useful to run that on camera and support the AI metadata coming out of the camera. Eagle Eye has taken care of that, so we can support all the AI models, all the AI metadata coming from the camera, and we basically treat that similar as our own AI metadata. Another way of using AI on the edge is, for example, pre-analytics. So if you don't want to transfer all the video to the cloud to be analyzed continuously, you can do pre-analytics, which, for example, means that the camera could say, hey, I found a person available in front of the camera. Let's start transferring the video to the cloud right now. What you can then add on the cloud is, for example, to still keep analyzing with cloud-based AI models. For example, investigate what is the clothing the person is wearing. Does he have a blue jeans? Does he have a red t-shirt? Maybe this person was on a bicycle. Maybe this person just stepped out of the car. Maybe this person was walking outside and not indoor. And this is very relevant, this hybrid model, because if you ever need to search video, you want to be able to search on more metadata than the person only. And this is a typical use case of pre-analytics being relevant for sending the video to the cloud, and then the cloud keeps on searching with the cloud-based AI models and annotate more metadata of the video. Another important use case to highlight where local AI is very relevant is a case that we operate, and you see the logo on the slide here as well, Brivo, which is our sister company. They're the #1 in cloud-based access control. We have an integration with them to open a gate or open a door based on the cloud-based and AI-driven license plate recognition that we operate in our cloud VMS. If the cloud fails or if internet fails, you still want to open the gate. So in that case, you want to run the license plate recognition on the edge, whether it's on the bridge of Eagle Eye or whether it's on the camera, because you want to keep opening that gate even if internet is not available. So these are just a couple of use cases where we believe it's really relevant to keep using the edge for both storage and edge-based AI and analytics. Couple of examples I want to highlight. One is Eagle Eye Smart Video Search. This is, if you refer back to my Google example I gave earlier in the presentation, This is how our GUI looks for our next generation video management system. It's completely search-based. As you see on the right, it's award-winning. We won a couple of awards in the last 2 years with this solution. So that's an indication that this is a next generation solution or approach to video management. What you can do in this video search GUI is that you can basically type any word or any sentence, just like in Google, to find video. So in this case, the example is the woman with the handbag. And on the examples there, you find the results easily for the women with the handbag. Currently, we support a lot of different objects, like around cars, license plate, coloring, persons, the type of upperwear, the type of lowerwear, bicycles, backpacks, etc. And the cool part is that we keep adding AI models on the fly for all of our customers globally. For example, we're working currently on a worker safety AI model that is going to enable the possibility to detect whether a worker has a helmet, yes or no. So if you think about that, then you think about the cloud and the AI is like milk and cookies, this is one example of that. So this is Eagle-Eye Smart Video Search. By the way, it's available on mobile too. So if you are just on the go on your mobile app, you can also quickly find the video that you're looking for. Another example of AI and search-related use case is our Eagle-Eye Vehicle Surveillance and LPR. It's the product is called VSP, Vehicle Surveillance Package. That's an add-on that everybody can buy on top of our cloud VMS that is kind of tailored to managing vehicles and vehicle license plates. It gives you an overview of all the vehicles that came to a certain location. You could set alerts or rules. For example, if you want to open a gate when a certain license plate comes into the premise, or if you want to maybe not open the gate for a certain license plate because this plate is on the blocked list. You can also get alerts. So if you want to say the next time this car comes onto the premise, I want to get alerted. And that's all available in our vehicle surveillance package. The cool thing here, and that refers back to running AI on the cloud, is that we can do license plate recognition on any camera out there. So it doesn't have to be a predefined license plate recognition camera. We can do it with any camera. Of course, it's important to install the camera in the correct way. It needs to have a clear vision on the gate, for example, and it needs to be close enough to actually read the license plate. But if you could read it with your eye, then the camera can do it too, and our AI model will be able to read it. We have global models for any region globally, so we can read US plates, Europe plates, Asia plates, Middle East plates, and it works on any camera you connect to our cloud VMS. So that's another example of where cloud and AI are kind of as milk and cookies. This is another example, as mentioned. Our forecast is that nobody will be sitting behind a screen anymore watching cameras all the time. So as you can see on the picture there, the red square around the specific picture with a little sub-picture in it means that something has been detected in that picture. Could be a person, could be a vehicle, could be a license plate. But the reason that this camera pops up is because you have a predefined rule in your Eagle-Eye Cloud VMS that makes this camera pop up and makes you watch the video, but only that specific video. This is what we call Eagle-Eye Smart Layout. So it's not just a layout, but it's a smart layout, which is fully driven by all the AI on our cloud. Last but not least, if you see on this architectural overview on the right side, our bread and butter product is that the cameras connect to our Eagle-Eye data center or to our Eagle-Eye cloud using the Eagle-Eye bridge, as you see on the left side of the architecture. But earlier this year, we launched a new product called Eagle-Eye Camera Direct, which allows cameras to connect directly up to the cloud. And this is the typical use case that I referred to earlier, where AI on the camera and edge storage on the camera using, for example, an SD card is really important. This product is more focused on use cases that you see on the pictures. For example, a small booth that requires just one camera, a dumpster where you don't want to install a whole bridge or an NVR or DVR. You go just install one camera, have that camera directly connect to the cloud, and send the AI and the video data directly to the cloud. All the rest of the Eagle-i Cloud VMS is similar to the bridge-operated cameras. And I think with that, I came to the end of my presentation. So I want to thank you all for listening in. And for any questions, let me know. Thanks.
Hi, Tijmen. Thank you so much for delivering your presentation on AI and how it's transforming cloud-based video applications. It's a very topical subject and one that has definitely taken over this edition of Security by Live. And cloud technology is previously very similar to AI in terms that it was a very rapidly emerging technology that's taken the industry by storm and also has obviously challenges associated. Whereas now cloud has become very much part and parcel of many video surveillance applications. Do you think that AI will have the same effect in the future?
Oh, definitely, Rebecca. Thanks, first of all, for the opportunity to present here, but it will definitely become part and parcel of, you mentioned most video surveillance system, I think of all video surveillance systems. If you think back of the example I gave with web search, and I know it's not video surveillance, but human beings are a little bit lazy, right? So AI is basically the helping hand there. And I foresee that AI is really going to dominate the whole video surveillance industry, whether it's for live video monitoring, professional video monitoring, whether it's for the consumer market, for self-monitoring, or the forensics in high-end of the market, for example, for city surveillance. So yes, AI is for sure going to dominate the whole video surveillance industry.
I completely agree. I mean, your point of, yes, Google browsing searches obviously aren't video surveillance, but that same using that same use case as well as other aspects of our lives, whether it's what TV we're watching, what music we listen to, everything is now being connected with AI. Even back in the day when we asked Jeeves on Yahoo. So I definitely see that becoming a core trend as well. And what makes Eagle-i Cloud VMS different from other solutions on the market?
Well, I've mentioned a few during my presentation, of course, like, Eagle-i being a true cloud, which is a differentiator, us running the AI models on the cloud, whether it's supporting all the thousands and thousands of makes, models, and cameras out there, and even supporting analog cameras. So we have a lot of those kind of differentiators. But what truly speaks out a lot to our resellers is that we don't force marriage cameras with our cloud, right? We're an open system, we're an open platform, so that really stands out. And one other thing that stands out as well is that Eagle-i, as far as I know, is one of the few truly global platforms for video surveillance. So customers that are, having operations globally, or have branches in the US and Europe, they tend to be willing to work in one platform, and that makes us kind of unique, serving those customers with one global platform.
Thank you. And I'll come to the open platform in a second, but just to pause for a second, are there any challenges with True Cloud that either users need to be aware of or that you had to mitigate in your research and development phase?
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, like I mentioned, True Cloud, one of the aspects of True Cloud is that all the video is going to the cloud. Now, this is not suitable for all type of customers. If you think about an airport, maybe there are spaces where by law you cannot transfer that video to the cloud. Or think about specific regions in the world where you can go cloud, but you can only go to cloud for maximum amount of days. An example is Portugal, where I believe 28 days is the maximum. So those are things you need to think about. And there's lots of rules and regulations in place. They differ per region, they differ per country. sometimes even differ per customer. And the good part of Eagle Eye is that even though we're true cloud, we're really addressing these kind of problems on a case-by-case basis, and try to solve all our customers with a true cloud by even complying to those kind of rules and regulations.
And just on that quickly, would you create like a customized solution if you had someone, for example, from Portugal who needed to abide by those regulations?
Well, I wouldn't call it customized, although in this specific case, we did it on request. The first Portuguese customer that came to us with this request, we have added this subscription type to our system so we can serve them with a subscription type and a recording retention that complies to law. I wouldn't call it customization, because after we've done this, it's kind of bread and butter to our product, and we can sell it to anybody. So.
Perfect. And just moving back on to your open platform, obviously it's great to see that you have an open API platform and that you are compliant with ONVIF standards, as obviously that means that you're truly kind of interoperable with other manufacturing solutions. But do you think that this collaboration and transparency between vendors or between manufacturers is the future of where security solutions are heading?
Oh, definitely. It's key. You mentioned ONVIF standards. Eagle Eye is a contributing member to ONVIF. We're taking part in the technical committees. We do that because we believe it's important to have open standards out there, whether it's for camera to cloud communication, or even cloud to other parts of the ecosystem collaboration. We truly believe in the power of an ecosystem. I always give this maybe stupid example, but Microsoft without printer drivers in an open way wouldn't be successful, right? And that's the same way if you look at video surveillance. You want to be part of an ecosystem, and you can only do that if you're truly open. So you need to be able to expose the data of the customers to third-party solutions to really get the true benefit and the true value out of your video surveillance system.
I agree. And I think it also helps promote the sustainability and longevity of a solution from the user perspective, because you have new technology coming out every single day. And if you're a building manager and you see a new camera, for example, and you go, ooh, I want that camera in my system, and the installer goes, well, you can't because it's not compliant with your other software or VMS solutions, and it might mean that they overhaul an entire system, which it doesn't need overhauling. So it definitely helps kind of promote the scalability and longevity of overall solutions. But definitely the future.
I don't agree more with you, Rebecca. 100% agree.
Thank you. Well, thanks, Tijmen. That's all we have time for. But it's been great to find out a little bit more about Eagle Eye Networks and the application of AI into the cloud. If anybody has any further questions, you can catch up with a member of the team at the Eagle Eye Network exhibitor booth, and you can find that on the platform. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye.